What are your go-tos for healing minor gastritis? Ooh.
Okay.
So anytime there's any itis is inflammation. And what I always like to tell my patients is I always think of inflammation like fire, right? A little bit of fire is good for you. Just like stress, right? A little bit of stress is good for you. But when you add too much fuel to that fire, when you keep lighting matches and
You're just throwing the gasoline
the fires,
everywhere.
not controlled, that is what can cause issues. So
Right.
I don't want you guys to think inflammation is always bad. A little bit of exercise-induced inflammation or a little bit of inflammation from your immune system, that certainly can be fine for you.
Right.
But if it's uncontrollable and if your gut has sustained damage, then your gut might not be able to kind of quench the fire and put the fire out. And so that is when you are diagnosed with these itis diseases. Gastritis, esophagitis, sinusitis, colitis, any of these itises. This means that there's maybe an uncontrolled long-term amount of inflammation that has gone on. So that's when it's a little bit out of control. So somebody was asking, what if you do have a little bit of gastritis? So one, you want to figure out how you got the gastritis. Two, you want to try to work to stop the insult and stop the injury. So you want to try to pull back, try to eat things that are easier to digest. I like to recommend eating foods and including foods and beverages that will help to kind of coat the lining of the stomach. So from a nutritional standpoint, that's going to be things that are kind of like gooey, right? Because they have a compound in them called mucilage. So aloe, you're going to see things like, chia has that in it. You're going to see that in okra. You're going to see that in cactus leaves.
Buckwheat. If you guys ever make cream of buckwheat, it's nice and gooey. Teff are great. So yeah, that's where grains get some bad media spotlights, but grains are super healing, guys. They have that mucus, right? If you think of it, the mucus that's lining, I mean, most of the mucus made in our body is coming from a carbohydrate, right? We're using those building blocks to make that mucus, and that is essentially a carbohydrate. So very, very cool. And you want to eat those foods, very helpful, but also make sure you're getting attention, making sure you're seeing that you're working with the care team to take care. If it's minor, right? The keyword here is minor gastritis. Take care of it while it's minor. Don't let it become major. Don't let it cross over. So take care of it right away. And that is very important.
Because when it turns major, maybe that's when your care team would suggest something like a proton pump inhibitor to decrease your stomach acid, kind of like trying not to pour alcohol on a cut. So it's like, okay, let's try to reduce the acid that's coming into contact with it. Your care team might recommend something like a Carafate or sucralfate to kind of line your stomach before you eat. So again, that food's not irritating it, and the acid that your body needs to produce to digest the food doesn't irritate it. So if it's minor, try to include some of those lifestyle and dietary things to be helpful.